here. Welcome to biology class. My name is Bright Tamir. Today we'll be talking about kingdom Protista. Generally, living organisms can be put into 5 kingdoms: kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. And then today we'll be looking at the distinguishing features of the organisms found in kingdom Protista. The first thing is that they are eukaryotic cells. They are single celled organisms. Some of them can move, some cannot move. They have a definite nucleus. I started by saying they were eukaryotic cells. What's the meaning of that? Eukaryotic cells are cells that have membrane-bound compartments within them. So imagine a house with, let's say, a bedroom, a dining room, a kitchen, a bathroom, all within the house. Unlike a one-room cabin where you sleep, you eat, and you do every other thing there. In a eukaryotic cell, you have compartments, you have rooms, you have membrane-bound compartments. These membrane-bound compartments are called organelles, and it's because of the possession of this quality that makes them have a defined nucleus, because the nucleus is a membrane-bound organelle. So remember, they are single cells. Some of them can move, some cannot move. They have a definite nucleus. Typical example will be Chlamydomonas and then Amoeba. They are found in fresh water. Some of them, like diatoms, are found in seawater. They are found in wet places. Some of them are found inside the body fluid of living things. So they can be found in blood or urine of living organisms. So they can cause harm actually. They are very small in size. Their size is about 10 to 100 microns. 10 to 100 microns, that would be when you take, let's say, a ruler, the normal 30 centimeter ruler, you narrow it down to 1 centimeter within that ruler, and then in 1 centimeter you have 10 smaller graduations. You take one of those 10 small graduations and expand it to the size of, 10 of that size. One in 10 of the smallest space will be the size of, will be the idea of what 10 to 100 micron is like. It is microscopic. We can't actually see them with our eyes. The organisms that are in this kingdom Protista, can be put into two big groups, and this grouping is based on their behavior. Some of them behave like animals, some of them behave like plants. Remember that when we talk about kingdom Protista, we're not talking about plants or animals. They are not plants, they are not animals, they belong in their own kingdom. And then so this kingdom can be grouped into two based on their qualities that are animal-like or plant-like. The first group is called phylum Protophyta. Whenever you see the word phyta, what should come to your mind is plants. So they are protophyta, like plants, before plants, sort of. The organisms that are in this phylum have chlorophyll. Of course, we know that chlorophyll is a substance that is found in plants that has the ability to capture sunlight and use it to use the sunlight to combine carbon dioxide and water to form carbohydrate, meaning organisms under phylum Protophyta can make their own food by trapping sunlight. Another important quality of the organisms in phylum Protophyta is the possession of cell wall. Cell wall is also another distinguishing feature of plants, and they have this. A typical example of an organism in the phylum Protophyta is the Chlamydomonas. I would illustrate diagrammatically what a Chlamydomonas looks like. It's roundish, kind of like a yeast cell. Roundish like a yeast cell. This is a cell wall. It has organs with which it moves. Organs for motility. It has a kind of central greenish area. In biology, whenever green comes to mind, you think of chlorophyll. It has a nucleus. It has starch grains, areas sensitive to light and all that. So this is a flagellum for singular, flagellum. This is a cell wall. This is a nucleus. And this is a chloroplast. Chloroplast is the organelle that contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the substance that is able to trap light and use it to transform water and carbon dioxide into energy, into glucose. So that's a typical example, Chlamydomonas. Another group, kingdom Protista, can be put into another group. Remember, we talked about the phylum Protophyta. The second group is phylum Protozoa. From the word zoa, like zoo, animals. So the phylum Protozoa are organisms that resemble animals. They are not animals, but they have features that make them look like animals. A typical example is amoeba. Let me illustrate what an amoeba looks like. The shape is not defined. It has a nucleus. It has an extension. Let's call these two body parts extensions for moving. They are not really permanent. They are fluid-like, they change. They can function as feet. So they are called pseudopodium, false feet. Pseudopodia, since we have two of them here. And then they have cell membrane. Cell membrane is typical of an animal cell. So they are animal-like even though they are not animals. Amoeba is also a protista under the kingdom, the phyla Protozoa. So to do a short recap, remember that the kingdom Protista can be put into two groups, two phyla. Phylum Protophyta, example Chlamydomonas, and phylum Protozoa, example Amoeba. Generally, this is the idea of what the organisms in this kingdom look like. There is an organism worthy of note that I want you to remember. It is called Euglena. Euglena is important because it possesses both the attributes of an animal and attributes of a plant. So you can say they are plant-like and animal-like because they possess chlorophyll. Some of them possess chlorophyll, so they can make their own food. But they don't have cell wall. They have pellicle that looks like a cell membrane, and that's an animal-like feature. In fact, some of them don't even have chlorophyll. So the kingdom poses a little bit of problem for classification for scientists. How do they reproduce? Some of them reproduce by asexual reproduction or binary fission. Asexual reproduction is when one organism divides into two daughter cells, two identical cells. So that's asexual reproduction. Some of them also reproduce by sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction offers the ability of donation of gamete from a male and a female to form a zygote. The zygote then grows into a new individual. The zygote can also form a spore. A spore is a resistant form of the cell, of a fertilized cell. It's important because it helps this organism to withstand tough situation. When it forms a spore, it can exist in an uncomfortable, unfavorable environment till the environment becomes favorable, then it germinates. So to recapitulate on what we've said today, we've mentioned kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista being single-celled organisms that are eukaryotic, having a definite nucleus, and typical example being Chlamydomonas and Amoeba. We've also said that the organisms in kingdom Protista can be divided into two phyla, phylum Protophyta and then the phylum Protozoa. So thank you for watching. If this video has been of benefit to you, please press the subscribe button, like the video, and share. Send your comments too on questions on how you want me to improve on my services. Thank you very much for watching.